بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على خير خلق الله أجمعين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to another class of Instilling Yaqeen. In the previous class, we started to address some of the common doubts that shake the yaqeen of some Muslims, or Muslims are addressed with these doubts and they don't know how to properly deal with them, and they don't know how to properly respond to them. And we mentioned that the way we'll cover these doubts is by dividing them into three sections. The first is those doubts that deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the existence of Allah. And that is what we covered last week in the last class. And so we covered for example, the doubt concerning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his existence, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created everything, and that is a proof that we use, then the question comes from the atheist, then who created Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And so we dealt with this doubt. We also dealt with what is known as the problem of evil. The problem of evil, which is a question that atheists and others bring up, that if God truly exists, then why is there evil and suffering in the world? So we dealt with this doubt as well. And the third doubt we dealt with is that science today has disproven the idea of God, or disproven Allah's existence. So that is what we covered in the previous class. Today we want to look at those doubts concerning other aspects of the foundations of Islam. And for this, we just want to focus on two doubts. And then the third section is those doubts concerning the legislations of Islam. And those doubts are many. And we'll cover that in the next class, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And so the first doubt that we want to cover today is the doubt that there's no need for religion. There's no need for religion. And this is a doubt that arises in two kinds of people. One are those who they believe that a creator exists, and they're convinced that yes, a creator, a supreme being exists who created this entire creation, because the evidences for that are too convincing. But they claim that this supreme being and this creator simply created and then left the world, left the universe as it is. He doesn't interfere in his creation, and he doesn't communicate with us human beings. These people are what we can call deists. These people are known as deists. The second group of people who would come up with this doubt are those who are Muslims, but they don't believe that Islam is really needed anymore in today's day and age, or that people can practice Islam on an individual basis, as in a secular society where the state does not interfere with religion. You practice your religion on an individual basis as you want, and we, the state, won't interfere in that. So these Muslims, they say that there's no need for religion to be imposed on society. There's no need for religion to be imposed on society. Either way, the doubt here is that we don't need religion, we can do without it. It's not that mandatory. And so this is a doubt that basically arises in people who, they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists and they're convinced about it, but there's something preventing them from submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us with. And generally speaking, these people are following their ahwa. They're following their whims and their desires. And so they know the truth, but they don't want to submit to it. They don't want to submit to it. And so how do we answer this doubt? How do we go about dealing with this doubt? Firstly, to answer the deist, let's first respond to the deist, the one who claims that a supreme being and creator exists, but he simply created this world and left it to be and does not interfere in it and does not communicate with human beings. He doesn't guide them, he has not sent them a guide, and so on and so forth. And so these people, they don't believe in the messengers. They don't believe in something called an-nubuwah, prophethood. And they don't believe in something called al-wahi, the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so the way to deal with these, with such people is by first bringing their attention to the concept of God, because these people, they have a wrong concept of who the creator is. They have affirmed certain attributes of the creator while stripping Allah of other attributes. So they have attributed to Allah that he creates and he is the creator, he is the all-powerful, etc. But they don't affirm other attributes that are binding, logically binding for that creator.